All right, you are listening and maybe watching Transparency and Merit
Yes,
live on this night after the election days. Election day.
yeah, Joe. I mean, the question is, will you salute the president? It is so close, and just, you know what? I mean, this election is going to make, I mean, Americans have already been very divided, and this election is going to make Americans even more divided than we have been before. And
That's
I
right.
don't,
You're listening to Brian, and I'm Joe. And all right, so yeah, are you going to salute the president in 2021? And I'm sorry, I cut you off. Where were you going there?
well, you know what? I'm saying that regardless of how this goes, a large portion of Americans are going to be very angry, very upset. And is there anything that can really be done to ease that anger? Because people have been upset before, but people are, some of the people that are pro Biden. I mean, I know the pro Biden people will be upset. I mean, the pro Biden people, and actually, most of the pro Biden people are pro Biden because they hate Trump. And the pro Trump people and those that are afraid of the left, who think that the left is, that the left is dirty. And, people think the same thing about the right, that the right is also dirty and authoritarian. So they both kind of think the same things, the worst things about each other. Is there any reconciliation between two groups that really despise each other, Joe? Is there any moment of peace that the two can have when two people see things so differently? Is there any kind of reconciliation? I mean, any kind of even, just peaceful resolution at all?
Well, yeah, there is, but it's going to take a lot of people who snap into gear here. I think a lot of people got used to the idea of things being dumbed down. And I'm sorry, but people they're going to have to work a little bit harder. And I mean, everybody's going to try to at least act like they're, at least like act your age in some ways. I'm not saying grow up. People need to be able to, you know, people need to do whatever it is that helps keep them from going crazy. But I'm just saying people need to use their mind. They need to be critical thinkers, and they definitely need to apply, in my opinion, their free will and their ability to discern between I don't know. They just need to have the ability to call a spade a spade. I don't know. I'm getting sick of people just kind of accepting what they see at face value and running with it as if it's truth, and quoting all these people from various websites, and it's just such a bunch of junk. And I guess I'm a little bit more jaded than a lot of people in my view when it comes to politics. I am as pretty much as apolitical as it gets, but I do have my views.
Well, I'll kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm not that I guess I'm not that apolitical. I don't want authority on me, but at the same token, I see people's, I'm, I'd like to think that I'm able to see both sides, and I don't know if they're able to do that. And look, if you feel
Right.
the thing of it is, Joe, if you feel you've been cheated and you feel the other side is being dishonest and being dishonorable, there's going to be people that are really like, are really angry and just so upset. I mean,
Oh, there already are. There already are. And I hear the liberals, I hear from both sides, but a lot of liberals yelling about, you know, just saying things I didn't expect. I don't know. I'm a little more disillusioned than in a typical election cycle because we have so many people who voted, so many people got jarred into getting out and voting, and so there's a lot of points of view out there right now.
yes, there are. And there, the thing of it is, Joe, a lot of people, I mean, right now, conservatives are feeling like the election is a sham and that there have been a lot of fraudulent ballots. I mean, this is the argument that the right, the conservatives are saying, and regardless. I mean, I don't know how right or how true it is, but they're kind of saying that the left in many of these states are very corrupt, and they basically brought in fraudulent ballots and are basically going to steal the election. And that's the feeling of many on the right, that this election is being stolen from them. But you know what? I mean, in 2000, in the year 2000, when Bush first won, there were a lot of Democrats that felt the election was stolen from them, and there were people with in-depth and full arguments that said that this election was stolen. And now we're seeing this on what seems like a larger scale. The left has a lot of control over a lot of things. And Debbie Daly is on here saying that it is rigged, that the election has been rigged in the favor
Wow.
of
Strong words from the Debbie camp.
Yes. That the election is rigged. Now, more people, by the way, I just want to say that more people who are in the Trump camp are, to a degree, seem to be conceding that Trump is not going to be victorious, or his way to victory is not as good as Biden's. Just about everyone on the Biden camp is not nervous, and they believe that Biden is going to win. The Trump camp is a little bit more thinking that
maybe Debbie would like to talk to you about what's going on, what she's seeing in tech. I'd like to know what's going on in Texas. But our phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call, 310-668-1969, call the hotline and go to the website. I'm sorry, I almost said Mr. Midnight Movie. Go to transparencyandmerit.com.
Yeah, go to our site. We're going to have an article up pretty soon about the
if you know anything about websites and you have any suggestions on how to make it better, please let us know. But there's some things we need, but right now it's up and running.
We're going to be having an article pretty soon that's kind of in depth about the Walkaway project and the Lincoln project. Not going to get too far into that, but it's going to be up pretty soon. But like I said, I don't know, like, if who's right and who's wrong. It's still a mystery. Although, like I said, it seems people who supported Trump, some of them are saying he's got a tougher road ahead. But there are other people out there that are saying this is complete fraud, and we're going to fight this tooth and nail. That what is right is right, and I think they've got lawyers in a lot of places, and I don't see, I see both sides in both camps, and someone did, I forget the guy's name, but he had written about Iraq, and he had written about civil war and strife, and he said this country could be very close to a kind of a civil war, or a very balkanized nation with very violent and very hostile factions. This is, I mean, you look on Facebook. There are people who are not friends anymore. So we are entering into a very hostile and vicious thing, and I don't know. People are not waving peace signs and they're not being peaceful. So there's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of frustration out there, and I don't know what because nobody wants to lie down. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to concede. And you know what I mean? There are plenty of people out there who are in the like we could see, and that's Dan Crenshaw with the one eye patch, and we could see a very hostile situation. We have Steve Bannon, who has military experience on the Trump side, and we could see a really nasty, just really vicious thing play out with our country. And the thing about this kind of hostile situation, it could really turn our country into a place of hunger and even starvation. Because if people are angry enough, man, they could attack trucks going into if they're pissed off at big cities, people can basically attack these trucks going into big cities. Maybe even the truckers who are pissed off won't go into big cities and try to starve them out, or do a blockade where large cities are go to suffer. I mean,
welcome. I hate weeks. The
Yeah.
Cyclops for the win.
Yeah.
So if Republicans lose, do we riot? It looked fun. I don't know.
Do we have a call?
We do have a call. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello.
This is the real Debbie Daly.
Coming in very low, by the way, Joey.
I hear her.
I don't.
Still fast.
Yes. Can you talk so we can hear you? Let's see how it sounds.
I think maybe I should I invite her to the StreamYard? Maybe that will work.
Well, hold on.
Can you hear me now?
A little
Brian.
bit, a little better, yes.
I'll call you on stream. I'll call you on the StreamYard. This blows.
Yeah.
Let me. Okay, I'm gonna put. Let me put this out for the StreamYard. Let me see here. Is Debbie here?
Probably some setting on Skype I gotta fix. Let's see here.
Let me see here. I'm just. So I just sent you, and you're going by the name of Jamie Pitts. Is that a fact, or is that something else?
Pitts.
Is she now Jamie Pitts? Why do people change their name on this friggin' thing? I just don't understand it.
I don't know. And why not?
But I put her out there on the StreamYard if she's coming in. And let me see here. Let me see here. Yeah. They always change their damn name, and I can't. I don't know why they just do that all the time. It drives me nuts. So I sent her a thing out there if she wants to come into our StreamYard.
You can now go into our StreamYard and be live.
Yes, and you are coming in very low. And someone just put on our Twitter, America is being raped. And yeah. Yeah, a lot of people A lot of people feel that way. You know, some just, yeah, I mean, and Americans are very, very angry.
Okay. My sound went down. How's that? Is that any better?
That is better. Your sound went
Okay.
down rather low, but your sound is.
Oh, good. It looks like I'm back. All right. Let's see if Debbie joins. Do we have any new comments? Let's see. Speak up, you old bat. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was probably my fault. Debbie too. Are you still here, Brian? Brian, you're muted.
Muted. I was, and we got her here. Let's add her to the StreamYard.
Hello.
Now, Debbie, for a while I was looking on your Facebook, and it looked like you were supporting Mr. Biden.
No. My father-in-law had done that stupid video where he goes, "I'm a World War II veteran." That's Vic's dad.
Oh,
So I just reposted it.
and but he's supporting Biden.
Yeah, of course. My entire family that I married into is Democratic. You know that.
Oh,
Remember, she gave that party for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, you got the Clinton connection.
Mm-hmm.
so what is the inside scoop like? So now, Debbie, since you have family that like supported Clinton and probably have an inside scoop, what is the inside scoop as far as how the election's going to go?
It's definitely going to go to Biden.
Wow.
So no legal wrangling is going to happen. It's going to go to Biden.
Well, because he's got 270 electoral votes.
Not yet. No, not yet. He has 200,
He's getting
264. Yeah, he's getting ready to though.
But here's the deal. Do they have a legal fight?
They do. If I believe Trump's already filed the lawsuit against, is it Michigan Jewish producer where there's 16 electoral votes?
Yeah, it's Michigan. Yeah. Yes.
Because they counted more votes than they have registered voters.
I think they did that in more than Wisconsin than Michigan, but both Michigan and Wisconsin are facing battles. Now, Joe, I did tweet to you, by the way, I think a video of that.
I'll check it out.
Of that whole incident. So if you want to take a look at your Twitter.
Go ahead and talk in the meanwhile.
You asked on your show if I would salute the president. Of course I will, because I'm not a moron. I mean, he is going to be the president of the United States, and I will respect him as such. I won't become a moron like half the Democratic Party has the last 4 years and made fools out of themselves.
Yeah. So what do you think the chances are of, because right now Giuliani is in, he was in Philadelphia, kind of like demanding that the vote stop, and he was going to be in Michigan and in Wisconsin as well, like questioning the votes there. And does it have a chance of going to the Supreme Court? And because it seems like a lot of votes were harvested, and were basically, there seems to be voter fraud in a rigged election. Can that be battled within the courts?
Absolutely. I'm not sure the last time that it has happened. Do we know the last time that's happened, that we demanded a recount? Or
well, we didn't demand well, in Florida there was a kind of a demand for a recount in Florida. Now this is Project Veritas. So this is one of the. Can we play that clip real quick?
What was it? We issued a directive this morning to collect any ballots we find in mailboxes, collection boxes, just outgoing mail in general. Separate them at the end of the day so that they could hand stamp them with the previous day's date. Today is November 4th, for clarification.
Who is your boss, and what is his title?
Jonathan would be a direct supervisor, yes. As of right now, he is the opening supervisor for the Barlow branch post office. So and this is anecdotal, carrier down in another office said they watched the postmaster doing it. If it were just a typical day, it would be clerks doing it up at the distribution center.
8 p.m. election day, November 3rd. The Court of Appeals ruled ballots have to be received by that time. And what were you told?
To separate them today so they could mark them with yesterday's date and send them through the express system to wherever they needed to go.
This appears to be an attempt to circumvent Michigan law and allow late votes. And you said there was a hamper where letter carriers were supposed to leave their ballots. Where?
Oops.
Now,
They were putting them into express bags to go to the distribution center. In regards to a hamper, there was a standard hamper that all letter mail was supposed to go to, and they had a tub next to it that we were supposed to put any ballots collected today into. Yes.
what made you come forward?
That's sketchy. Like sketchy, it screams corruption. Also knowing the post office's leanings politically, it didn't seem quite right.
What is your message to other postal workers who see things like this?
Report it. How are we supposed to have any integrity in this country if we are just going to let things slide based on a scaling issue?
Are you afraid of retaliation against you?
I've had whistleblower policies backfire on me in the past, so yes.
We'll have to reach out to Jonathan Clark for comment.
Is this Jonathan? Yeah. Hey, I'm a reporter with Project Veritas and James O'Keefe here, and I have information that you guys have been stamping ballots with the previous date, November 3rd. He just hung up the phone on me.
Aha. Oh, that pretty much tells the whole story right there.
But how much will that, like, if they can prove that, will that be, if they can prove that, will that be something that will go to the Supreme Court?
I don't know. Let me see what I can find out while we're talking.
That's the big question. How much information they can put before the court, because I believe that the Michigan Supreme Court and the Wisconsin Supreme Court is probably going to go to, they're not going to rule in the favor of the Republicans or Trump. So the question is, will it go to the Supreme Court, and what is the likelihood of it going to the Supreme Court? That
It says right here that a Wisconsin recount, could it change the election? It says, let me see. President Trump's campaign manager said that the campaign would request a recount in Wisconsin, calling it a razor-thin race after the Associated Press and Democratic nominee Joe Biden carried the state. Subscribe to read the full story. Blow me. I'm not going to do that. That's all it says. It's the Wall Street Journal. They want me to sign in. They can suck my you-know-what. Hold on, let me find something else. The Times, a recount actually changed the election. Did it ever change the election? And it says, here we go. Chances are good if you're reading this. Did you know about the still unconfirmed Georgia race? Republican, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Never mind. I don't know about that. I'm just going to do some research on it and see what I can find out, because frankly, I don't know.
now, you would like if someone in Dallas, like John Riley Price, was ever in charge of an election thing, would you ever put past him that he would try to steal an election or go into something, like put something in his favor illegally?
Well, we knew this was going to happen. We knew they were going to do it.
I mean, Debbie, the one thing is, Democrat, you know how dirty, and I've known how dirty some of these individuals can be. Some of these politicians can be. And it's just, I mean, like, if you've seen it up close, you kind of know, like, hey, some of these guys are really dirty and they will do anything to get that victory and get that win.
And if you don't think that the Democratic Party would put people into the post office, to do stuff to fuck with those ballots, you're an idiot, because yes, they will. Hillary Clinton even talked about becoming a part of the Electoral College. They were going. I mean, these people are insane. I say give it to them. I mean, because they're nuts. Democrats are nuts. You've seen how Reds has acted in Discord. You've seen how people have acted. People just nuts. Oh, he's not my president. I hate his guts. Blah 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 blah. Unbelievable ways that I've seen people act over this goddamn thing. I said, give it to them. If it's that important, let them have it. I don't give a fuck because they have acted like buffoons. It's hard to believe that grown men have acted the way I've seen men act, even on Facebook. That Dean guy, he's acted like a maniacal, insane person over this.
Dean's over the top, and so is Reds.
Yeah, and there's no talking to them. I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people do perceive the left as being insane and crazy and unhinged.
Well, they are, Brian. There's no comparison because we don't do what they do. We don't act the way they act. We won't, even if Biden wins or when Biden wins, we won't act like that.
Or when he's declared the victor. And like I said, we have, something, we have a very divided country right now. And I don't see anything really, healing our wounds because, it's like, if a team wins a close one and it's fair and square, there's not going to be a lot of anger. But if it's a close game and the ref cheated on their side or something like that, there's going to be bad blood.
And because everybody knows that there was millions of people at the Trump rallies recently, and there was like 3 at the Biden rallies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, there was nobody at his rallies. Nobody wanted him to be president because he's got dementia.
Well, I think the left wanted him to be. I mean, I think it was close, but I think that there was some funny business going on. And Tim Pool has been talking about this for a while, that there's going to be a lot of, and maybe, maybe there isn't, maybe there wasn't ballot harvesting. Maybe maybe the liberals and maybe some of the conservatives are right. There wasn't any funny business, but a lot of people see it as that there's a lot of funny business going on, and and it's a rigged election. Now, let me ask you this: would your family who are supporting Biden, are your friends or family that are supporting Biden, do they think it's a rigged election? Do they think that the Democrats stole the election? Would they see it that way or no?
They'll never admit it. I mean, the day last year, I was at my in-laws' house and I was standing in line to get food, and I was standing behind Paul Coggins, who, as you know, is a big leader in the Democratic Party. And I said, "What are you going to do if Trump wins?" And he went, "Trump's not going to win." And look what happened. Trump won. So I have no idea why I even said that. Why did I say that? I had a point to make and I forgot what it was. I started reading something. I don't know. I just think it's over. I mean, he's cheated his way to it. Let him have it, because they're just going to say that we cheated and that the Russians interfered in 2016, which is a major bunch of bullshit. And y'all know that. But,
if you're going to let something the thing of it is, we've already accepted so much riot. I mean, the riots have become normalized. Suppressing speech through violence has become normalized. Why do we want to accept more of it?
Well, what is our choice?
I guess maybe fight it to the bitter end. I don't know what the choice is. I mean, right now, perhaps you have to fight. You maybe take it to the courts. But I mean, the truth is, I don't think there can be. If you believe you're cheated, you're not. If you believe that you've been cheated, and the other side is gloating, going, "We are the champions," and singing and dancing.
They cheated.
What's that?
Because they know they cheated.
Yeah, but isn't it
it says right here, Angel, that in the year 2000, there was a recount ordered in Florida where the networks proclaimed the victory to Al Gore, while the recount resulted in a victory for Bush. But I don't know if that, it says, I don't recall if Gore was ever officially proclaimed to have won that state in the year 2000. You might want to look that up.
Bush won that state. Bush won that state. Went to the Supreme Court, and Bush ended up winning. It seems like, to a degree.
No, I think that I will say this, Brian. I hate to interrupt you, but I got to get this thought out. I think that's why we still don't know who's won. There's too much going on that we don't know about recounting and cheating, all that bullshit. Trump's not a fucking idiot. He's going to find out.
Yeah, well, like I said, he may, regardless of what he finds out, what the courts, I mean, because the thing is, here's the deal, what I learned, and this is my brief lesson in law. Someone one time told me, you don't go to court, you're not going to a court of justice, you're going to a court of law. Mm-hmm. And it's really what the law says and what is legally allowed and legally permissible. So they're ruling on law. And that is the question of the day. What does the law say about people, harvesting ballots or things seeming kind of fishy? What is admissible in court? What's the evidence? And how much of that evidence is admissible in court? That is going to be the question. And that is what everyone's waiting to see. Right now, it seems like a public relations thing. There's going to be a lot of money pouring into the Trump campaign to help fight this thing, or any legal campaign to help fight this sort of thing within the courts. And that's going to be the big question. What is admissible in court? What's the evidence? And how much of that evidence is admissible in a court of law?
Let's see what this person says. This isn't a copyrighted thing. Hold on, we'll see what this guy says. If it'll play.
David, the Trump campaign saying they're going to contest in Wisconsin.
Yeah, here's the statement from campaign manager Bill Stepien. I'm just going to read it, Anderson. It says, the president is well within the threshold to request a recount, and we will immediately do so. The campaign goes on to complain that it's a razor-thin race. We knew it would be, and there have been reports of irregularities, they claim, in several Wisconsin counties, which raise doubts about the validity of the results. That's what the Trump campaign is claiming. We know that in Wisconsin, if the margin between the candidates is less than 1%, certainly the losing candidate can indeed request a recount, Anderson. It doesn't necessarily mean that much may change. I mean, 2016, I think Jill Stein requested a recount, and I don't think many votes shifted at all after that recount. And that was when Donald Trump won the state by about a similar vote margin, some 20,000 votes, that he's losing it right now. And I think we heard the Wisconsin elections officials say they only have about 300 votes left to actually count. So this is a near complete initial count that we're seeing in Wisconsin.
Right. The election official in Wisconsin was saying that there's only one township that hasn't sent in the results, and they in that township there's only about 300.
Oh, fuck off, CNN. All you care about is lying. Listen to this. It says a federal judge is very unhappy with the United States Postal Service and wants answers. A federal judge was so angered by the U.S. Postal Service's inability to sweep its facilities for ballots yesterday afternoon, following a court order to do so, that he said he wants answers under oath from the postmaster. He said he was not pleased that the United States Postal Service could not comply with the Election Day court order and didn't notify him until the court's deadline passed that they didn't have personnel on file in facilities to look for ballots in the mid-afternoon. Sullivan has put in place several court orders requiring the Postal Service to explain how much election mail it is failing to process. And this goes for Michigan, which includes Pennsylvania and Michigan. The court's order on Tuesday for an additional sweep was in response to reports of lower performance in some areas where stricter deadlines for absentee ballots to get electoral boards approached. I think that there's going to be something that happens. I just do. I think something's going to happen. I don't know what. It says right here, Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said he hopes to have a full result from his state by the end of the day. Never mind, that's yesterday. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I think that there's some shady shit. Are y'all still there?
And I had my mic on mute. But
I think something shady went on.
yeah.
Yes,
But-
still here. Yes.
But by the
There
way,
is a lot of shady stuff.
I did tweet you something. I don't know if you want to show it, but it is something rather interesting. I just want to kind of like I've stated before. What is it was James Woods, but the tweet's on it. Don't forget it.
There we go.
What are we looking at?
Oh,
What?
never mind. Turn it off, Joey.
You sent it.
I know. I just thought it was funny.
What is that?
Never mind. I'll send it to you. By the way, Debbie, you never answer any of my tweets. I tweeted you a few movies and you never answered them.
I
But
never go to Twitter. Never.
oh, jeez, what's wrong with you? Okay, but here's the deal. Like
Get
I
with
said,
it.
you're going to a court of law. It's not a court of justice, and it's not a court of how I feel. And it's all about what is the legal precedent, what the law will allow. You know, what's the evidence, and more than that, what is the legal evidence, and what is admissible in court. And then like what the court, like when the court hears it, what they will rule on. You know,
Oh,
I think if it goes in front of the Supreme Court, you got a 50-50 chance if the Supreme Court will hear it. But I don't even, I don't think, then the game's afoot. But even then, they're going to rule. They may rule on the fact that, hey, this is the evidence you're presenting is, and I don't know what the whole what the if it's the preponderance of the evidence or if it's beyond a reasonable doubt or what the whole what the whole burden of proof is with regards to election interference. And like I said, that's going to be the question. If the Supreme Court will hear it, then we're still in the game, and it's a fighting. Then the Trump has a fighting chance.
the Supreme Court doesn't have a lot of back and forth. It's just you go in there and you just plead a case. Like in the case of the people versus Larry Flint. You just plead the case. There's no testimony and all that kind of stuff.
Will it? You know what? Will it go before the Supreme Court?
Yeah, you better believe it will.
Okay, I could, and that's my ignorance on the Supreme Court. So, okay. And how do you think the Supreme Court's going to rule?
They're going to rule 100% to the law. There's not going to be any. Those people are so, to be a sitting. To be on the Supreme Court is a big deal, and I almost dropped my microphone. I was trying to lay down.
And it's stacked right now for Trump with Trump's people.
But regardless, they're still going to rule on the law.
It still doesn't matter. I mean, those people are pledged for their life before God. It's a big deal when you get on the Supreme Court. I know Paul Coggins, my brother-in-law, is thinking about running for the Supreme Court someday. I'm not running for it. running for the Supreme Court. No, I mean trying to get appointed.
He must have friends in high places.
He does. I don't know. It's just sad because I just think, if they took away, I've got an interactive map. If they took away, is it Michigan or is it Wisconsin? It's Wisconsin or is it Michigan? Wisconsin? Right?
Wisconsin and Michigan. It might be both.
If they gave Wisconsin to Trump, it would be 278 to 260. He would win.
That's a possibility.
Because I have an interactive electoral map where you can click on red and blue and it counts them. It's really cool.
And, I'm reading from the Epoch Times, that Trump says we will be going to the Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop President Trump's campaign. Asked the Supreme Court to halt voting as asserted. He had won election 2020. And media in predictable meltdown over President Trump's concern for illegal ballots. There's nothing unreasonable about what Trump said. And there's just a lot of people say if they hadn't stopped counting, real Donald Trump would have been declared winner. Supreme. So yeah, I mean the truth is, so I guess it may go. So you definitely see it going before the Supreme Court. Would you bet me money on that, Debbie?
Absolutely, it will.
Joey, I want you to write this woman a check. I want to put a check to Debbie right now, and put steak dinner.
You better believe it. No, they will. They will.
Because I think there's got to be another steak dinner on the line when COVID is over. Either we'll go to Dallas and we'll treat you to the steak dinner of our choice.
Oh, wait a minute. We have something here. What is this? Wait a minute. This was just 4 hours
Today,
ago.
stocks bag another monster session, even though the election isn't over yet. Hundreds of thousands of votes have yet to be counted in some critical swing states. In fact, Trump's camp has already filed a lawsuit in at least one critical battleground. Plus, they've promised to request a recount in another must-win state. And finally, we take an early look at how closely the election returns matched what the polls predicted. I'm Mackenzie Sigalos, and this is CNBC After Hours. Up more than 4%. Why? Well, it's clear there will be no blue wave, aka Democratic control of every branch of government, meaning something like single-payer healthcare getting passed. His campaign promised to ask Wisconsin for a recount once they're able to do so. CNBC's Phil LeBeau is on the ground in Wisconsin, and he's got the details.
The Trump campaign believes there were serious irregularities in the county.
You should see this buffoon standing here with a mask on. People look so stupid with those stupid masks on. Don't take that damn mask off, you idiot. Okay, here we go. This is Philip LeBeau.
It's really ridiculous.
In Wisconsin, and as a result, it is requesting a recount. Remember that when that recount takes place, and that's likely over the next couple of weeks, they will have a chance to question the validity of these votes, specifically, I would imagine, in those counties, because the recount is done on a county basis, county by county. And so they'll look at those votes, and that, again, will play out over the next couple of weeks. But the Trump campaign believes, yes, there were irregularities in their opinion, and that's why they want the recount. The Wisconsin Elections Commission believes that almost all of the ballots that were cast in this election have been tabulated. There may be a few hundred provisional ballots that are outstanding in a couple of small municipalities, accounting for a few hundred.
Let me see how much he won, how big he won in 2016. Where's my map? Hold on. Let me see. Get my map back out here. Electoral.
Joe, I sent you another Twitter thing. I called a fiery lady or fire lady. I don't know if you want to play that. Not that. Okay. Jeez.
Let me see what they
did. I not send that to you? How is it not getting there? I thought I sent that to you, Joey. Sent that Twitter to you.
Okay. In Wisconsin, he won.
A real fire lady. And I guess it's not there yet. I just sent it to you, though. Oh, in Wisconsin, what?
I don't know. He won. It doesn't give me any specifics on what.
Well, in Wisconsin, it's showing that he's won, that there are more ballots cast than there are people that live in the state.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's called cheating.
And that's got to be like.
You know, Brian, if we worked in one of those places, it'd be so fucking easy to cheat. I mean, you know, what the fuck? I mean, you know, think about it. You know, you just have somebody that's counting something that's.
And you pay me off with a cheeseburger, and then like you'd be eating it while I was in jail.
No, I'm just saying it would be easy to, if they're hand counting ballots. I mean, I would go 3, 7, 9, 14. I mean, who's going to sit and watch these people count these things? Of course they're cheating. Especially if it's the Democrats that are cheating.
There's no question. And I don't care, but both sides, I'm sure they do whatever they can get away with. And they'll do it until they're caught.
So, Jim, tell us what.
So we got, I mean, right now we got, just Trump's team is on the warpath. There are people that are kind of depressed, but like I said, it's not over till it's over. And Debbie, what do you think is going to happen? Do you have any predictor on what you think is going to happen in the end?
I think if they demand a recount in Wisconsin and they are honest about it and Trump ends up winning that state, that will push him over the limit. He'll have enough electoral votes to, if you take away 10 from Biden, that puts him down to 260 something. And then it brings Trump up to where he needs to be. So if they do that, then that will be the deciding factor.
In Wisconsin, Wisconsin is a place, 90% voter turnout in Wisconsin is impossible without voter fraud. So they're really saying voter fraud is really big.
Really? That's good. I didn't know that.
3:30 to 4:30 a.m. they found 140,000 mail-in ballots for Biden.
Oh, how convenient.
3:30 to 5 a.m. they found 200,000 mail-in ballots for Biden, and then 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. they found 1 million ballots, all for Biden, none for Trump.
Sure they did.
This is this is looking, like I said, this is and can they, the question is, can they get away with it? And 48 Hours said he voted for Kanye West, which I think was Joe's candidate. Wait, did Joe just leave us?
I don't know.
Joe did just leave us, so he has left us. I don't know. I think there's something wrong with his computer, but
we can handle the show. We can hold the show. Hey, it says right here, Wisconsin did not find 100,000 ballots around 4 a.m. the morning after, which would be the. Which, I'm sorry. Somebody behind me talking here. It says, I'm not going to unblock your ads. Fuck you. It says, I don't know where to go from here. I don't know. It's very depressing. It's hard to believe that we live in a fucked up country like this where idiots will cheat their way. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm without words. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm just sick of it. Wisconsin has had more votes than they have registered voters. I mean, that right there should say the whole fucking thing right there. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
Now, Willie says MM has no right to quote Sherlock Holmes. Did I quote Sherlock Holmes at all?
Willie's an idiot.
Well, he might be. Have you ever seen? Now, I
love him to death, and I just give him a hard time. I love Willie. I'll always love Willie to death, but he's an idiot. He's a lovable idiot.
Now, I think that Willie sounds quite a bit like Goofy Bone.
No, I don't believe so.
I thought Willie might even be Goofy Bone. He's just come back incognito as Goofy Bone. That's another story. But the whole thing is, and I think, again, the whole question is, what is legally allowed? What is the evidence and what is legally allowed? Now, the people may think that this election has been stolen, but the evidence may be the other way. I mean, look, and people have been cheated before. I mean, I remember the O.J. Simpson verdict. This may not be presidential, but I remember the O.J. Simpson verdict, and I was really upset about that. And this may even be worse. I don't know.
Well, if you listen to the closing arguments of the O.J. Simpson trial, they based that on race. Period. There was nothing in the closing arguments about O.J. at all. It was all about race.
Yeah. Well, like I said, who knows? Because I'm not, and I'm not a legal expert. Some of the legal experts that I've been hearing from, though, say that it's not a good chance, and I don't even know if these courts are going to be like they're going to bring it before the Supreme Court. Will the Supreme Court hear it?
Yes, that's facts.
And will the Supreme Court? Will there be enough evidence for the Supreme Court to rule in Trump's favor?
Wait a minute. Let's see what this says.
On voter fraud, as you know, hopefully there won't be a very big movement because hopefully we're going to be able to win. I think we have the massive movement. I think we're going to have a tremendous victory. There won't be a transition because I can't imagine we call a transition if we win. They talk about, will there be a friendly transition? Of course there will.
Okay, well, that's not telling us shit. I just hate the way he says everything is beautiful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, beautiful. Just give us some facts. Here's the Wisconsin Attorney General. But
it's Trump.
Let's see.
And joining me now is Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul. He's also the co-chair of Vote Safe Wisconsin, a bipartisan coalition to promote safe voting during the coronavirus pandemic. Thanks so much for being here, Mr. Attorney General. Wisconsin has almost all of its vote counted. Can you give us a timeline right now when you do expect to have every single vote counted in your state?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for having me, Katie. And
fuck off.
as our election commission announced recently, there are just a few hundred outstanding votes in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, you better be ready to get your dumb ass drug into court, bucko. You better hold on to your ass, because if you're going to be the attorney general, you better call it off, or you're fixing to get your ass drug into court, because we don't play the way y'all play. We don't riot and tear shit up. Although Weeks was right. We should do that because we get free stuff. I mean, think about it. We should riot. We should go out and riot right now and then break up.
Yeah, you get the state of emergency going. There you go.
And nobody goes to jail. Think about that. I wouldn't go to jail. I'll go downtown and we'll break into Neiman Marcus and we'll get all kinds of expensive stuff. Think about that. But anyway, this guy better be ready because, he can lie all you want, Mr. Democratic, Hillary Clinton kiss ass, but I'm sorry. I just don't like it. I mean, I'm in a bad mood.
You don't sound like you're in a bad mood, and your sound quality is great.
You're in a bad mood. You are a bad mood.
No, I'm in a light mood today.
Debbie, I think it could be safe to say that Joe and I have forgiven you.
Oh God!
Listen to me. Hold on a second, Debbie.
Yes.
Listen to me.
What?
Joe and I have both forgiven you for walking out on us on our day of steak in a movie.
Yes.
Do you think if Biden wins or Trump wins, that
I'll fly back out?
That the side
I'll fly back out there with no excuses with me. I'll just
we want to go see Texas, both of us.
Yes, I've seen. I love that. I've been to now. By the way, I've been to Houston. I've been to San Antonio. I've been to Brackenville. Have you ever, Debbie? Have you ever been to Brackenville?
I've never heard of Brackenville.
Oh, it's where the Alamo, where John Wayne shot the Alamo.
Oh, okay, cool.
And where else have I been? I've never been to Austin.
Oh, you would love Austin. I could meet y'all in Austin.
I think we're going to go to Austin because I think we're going to go and see, talk to the lefties there.
How far of a drive is that for you?
3 hours max.
No, Jesus.
If that.
We could pull that off.
If that. Oh, it's a beautiful drive anyway. I love it.
Have you been, Debbie, have you been to Amarillo?
I have many times.
Amarillo by morning.
Up from San Antonio.
If you make the drive down to Austin to meet us, we'll shack you up in a hotel of your choice.
That I got is just
of our choice, actually.
Yeah, but it better not be a no-tell. It has to have room service.
We'll get you a place with room, 4 stars or higher.
Debbie, what it's going to have is it's going to have a stove, grill, and
You get butler.
you're going to grill us some steaks, baby.
A Bunsen burner.
Yes.
There's a Four Seasons down there in Austin. I've stayed at. It's beautiful.
I've heard that you have said that you could grill a hell of a steak, and me and Joe want to see that.
I can.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll just have y'all
You
over
cook
to my
for
house.
us even better.
Yeah, let's have y'all over to my house and serve dinner.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be amazing. That'd be fun.
Yes.
And,
So maybe Vic and I can go out and take some chip shots in the backyard.
Please do. Oh, I thought you were going to go out. What?
maybe I can school Victor in a game of basketball and just take his ass to the hole.
Please do.
Get him out of the house for
I'm
10
down there,
minutes.
Debbie. Fuck off, Weeks. Y'all need to hang out with this guy named Weeks. His name is Kenneth. He goes by Colby. His last name is Weeks. He is the coolest fucking guy in the world. He is neater than fuck. So y'all need to be nice to
All
him
right.
with him.
Now, Debbie, how
So
many?
far, he's been wrong about everything, but okay.
Well,
By
he's
the way,
always wrong.
Debbie, how many Biden supporters do you know?
Well, Victor's whole family, and I don't know. I don't know who else.
Oh shit! I just fell on my chair.
Oh yes. I did you break it?
I haven't broke the goddamn thing yet.
I love it.
Wow.
What
That
was
was
on webcam? God
that
damn
was
it.
as good as when Curtis got up and fell down.
Remember when Curtis threw up? He goes, whoa.
Where is Curdy Poo?
God, that's the greatest thing in the world. We need Blue Beats on air. Me and Sonny and Eric, we almost died laughing. I mean, really died laughing. Sonny couldn't breathe. He would go.
Oh, I'm so glad that was live, that everybody got to hear you fall down.
That was great.
Yes,
wish
your
I could
neighbor is probably
everyone.
crying.
Is Curdy Poo still around?
He was stretching. Remember, did you hear him shaking?
Yes. Boom.
I love when people.
Wow.
Now,
You're up there?
by the way, do you think Curdy Poo will be meeting Billy Boo? I'm kidding. What am I saying? That's horrible. Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I think Curtis. I don't know where Curtis is.
he's in Arizona.
He does hang out on the fringe.
He probably voted 2,000 times for Biden.
I hated Trump too.
I hate that. He's just evil. He has no manners.
Listen to him over there on his desk or on his.
What are you doing? I think he's hammering the chair back into place.
I'm missing a piece. That's why. And I'm a bit of a big boy. I think I'm still.
Yes.
Boy,
I'm 250, Debbie Schnoot. Oh shit!
you've gone up to 250.
I've always
down.
I've never been. I haven't been under 250 since I've been like. I think 18. I've been 250.
Yeah, but you don't. You just don't look fat to me. You're just not a. You know what I mean? You just don't.
Well, then I don't know. Now, I 48 weeks. I think you got to laugh when I.
It's I hate weeks. Is it Sundowners, Debbie?
Oh shit!
He's an asshole.
By the way, is Katie D still around?
I don't know. I think so. She's probably still around. Remember that night you talked about her and I just had her on the show instantaneously? Isn't that funny?
There was Katie D.
Usually when we throw it out there into the atmosphere, she just shows up. But I think last time she checked herself into a mental home, a mental institution.
Are you serious?
You'll be with Kings.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Now, what happened to Todd Morris? Because Todd Morris could help us out with this whole presidential thing.
I haven't heard from him in months.
Yeah, he's like disappeared.
He used to come to your shows recently. pretty recently.
It's been a while.
I was on
Yeah,
one night and he was in the chat room. I thought, I don't know.
he was early on. Yeah.
Debbie, he was in the chat room. Don't be an idiot.
Yes. I wonder if Frankville is still doing shows.
I probably not. I would think.
You think he might have gotten kicked off of YouTube?
Probably. He's funny as hell. Whatever happened to Bathtub Girl? I thought she was back and doing good. She ran away again now?
Now, Bathtub Girl was at a BLM rally, and she was accused of being in the Klan, and she was twerked into a ditch. They twerked on her, and she was. She said, by the way, that the twerking on her was an assault, and she was twerked off. They started twerking on her, and she was twerked off the road. And she said she fell. She fell.
Oh boy!
Seriously?
Who does this? Who does?
Todd Morris's last video was made 4 months ago. That's about the time we haven't spoken to him. So maybe COVID has got him bunkered down in his place and unavailable.
I think I think that Curtis just finally just faded into the background. You know?
Yeah. I think he just didn't want to hang around and talk to multiple people. I don't know what he was in another server, the Fringe FM server, recently on Discord, but he wouldn't come over to our server.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ask him to?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But anyways, Brian, let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap this thing up because we all got to get to bed. Debbie was great.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
And I want to restate again that this is all determines what the courts will hear and what the courts will, what kind of evidence there is for the courts. And it's not a court of justice; it's a court of law. So we'll find out. All right. Anything else?
No, all gone.